I remember in 2005 when I bought this truck, this was one of the newer trucks in the Fleet Farm parking lot. Today, when I drive this to Fleet Farm, everyone parks away from me, and it's by far the crappiest and the oldest truck. But having a crappy truck isn't necessarily bad. I can throw things in this. I don't worry about wrecking it. We have a bed liner. I've had concrete piled up high. It's got a rear sliding window, plenty of mud. I do have to replace the trailer hitch just because I can't get out that receiver. The receiver has basically become one with the receiver hitch. The truck itself, mechanically, safety-wise, is actually quite nice. I've gone ahead and replaced all the brake lines. I've replaced calipers. We're going to do wheel cylinders again. Wheel cylinders are about 10 years old and are starting to seep a little bit. We have 172,000 miles. It has power windows, power locks, a 40-20-40 split seat. Everything's intact. The dash is intact. Headliner's starting to kind of drop a little bit here and there. The steering on it could be a little tighter. It has AM/FM cassette. And of course it has air conditioning, which doesn't work, but we will get it working again. Four-wheel drive with the classic shifter on the floor, with the 4-speed automatic. This truck specifically has a 355 rear end. It will not be winning any races towing. I would argue that the engine in this, the 5.9 liter, is adequate, but the V10 would have been nice. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure the V10 would get any worse gas mileage. Generally, I get about 13 miles per gallon unloaded, and running around with a trailer, it'll usually be like 7 or 8. This truck specifically hasn't towed a lot of weight. We used it extensively when we moved. I hauled a enclosed trailer that could haul about 4 ATVs. It's hauled the occasional car on a car trailer, and it hauls our boat when we did use our boat. What I like about these trucks too is that they're very simple. And by simple, what I mean is we have one engine computer. The transmission doesn't even have a computer at this point. It has an airbag module, but very basic. And they're incredibly easy to diagnose. There's not a whole lot of inputs that can potentially go wrong. So even if you throw all your parts at it, you'll eventually fix it. In this case, when there is an issue, what I like about it is very simple. Just key on, key off. 1, 2, 3. And we can count the check engine light to give us the codes. And that's it. 55 is the end of the code. So we've got code 12, which is battery disconnected in the last umpteen starts. I'm not sure what code 37 is. I'll have to look it up. But for the most part, this truck is very easy to diagnose. There's not a whole lot that goes into it, and that's always nice. What this uses is a Dana 44 in the front, I believe, and we've got axle U-joints that have been replaced. We'll have the ball joints replaced. I have a frame stiffener in the front. And the way this frame stiffener works is it crosses both frame rails, and then it ties in with the steering. These trucks kind of were a little loosey-goosey, and this definitely helps. We installed that about 10 years ago. All right, we have the spark plug wires in, the cap and rotor, along with the new distributor pickup. We have the new coil installed, and we have installed all of this mostly because it is all 16 years old, except for the coil. The coil is original. It was corroding heavily, so we replaced that based on age too. But for the most part, let's see. We're going to start this up, and if it runs okay, then I'm going to put the air cleaner back on, and we'll call it a night.
Autolite these actually came with the truck. When I bought the truck, I was told the spark plugs had been recently changed, so I never actually went forward with it, but
Okay, I call it a success. I'm going to put the air cleaner back on. Before I do that, I am going to clean the throttle body, just for good measure. And we'll go to bed. It is just about 1 o'clock in the morning, so we don't have to deal with this in the morning. It's all set to go. I'll give it a test drive, make sure it's okay, and we will go from here. The only thing left now with this project, we're going to do the ball joint, and we're going to do the brakes next. And then after the ball joint and the brakes, we will move on to do the heater core and evaporator. Have a good night.